It appears tonight that Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has openly criticized the Trump White House for backing out of the INF treaty signed by President Reagan, is now going full speed ahead with Russia's missile defense strategy. Today, Mr. Putin watched as his military displayed missiles that can carry thermonuclear warheads, some that Mr. Putin himself and many military experts call invincible. Covering today's display for us is RT correspondent Yulia Shapovalova.
Vladimir Putin led the maneuvers from the National Defense Management Center in Moscow via a video communication system. The exercises were held on land, water and in the air, namely from the Barents Sea and the Sea of Okhotsk, from where strategic missile submarines launched ballistic missiles at training grounds in Kamchatka and in the Arkhangelsk region. In addition, the ships of the Caspian Flotilla and the Northern Fleet launched Caliber high-precision cruise missiles. Several launches of cruise missiles were also carried out by Iskander complexes. Plus, the Yars missile system successfully completed the launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile from the Plises Cosmodrome. Long-range Tu-95 MS aircraft hit their ground targets as well. The Ministry of Defense noted that all the tasks were completed and the missiles hit all the targets.
This training is the final stage of the Strategic Thunder 2019 Command and Staff exercise, during which the armed forces of the Russian Federation will be tested. Their ability to solve problems in an armed conflict and nuclear war with the implementation of the integrated use of high-precision nuclear weapons and weapons based on new physical principles covering all types of armed forces will be on display.
The Thunder 2019 exercises started on Tuesday, October 15th. About 12,000 troops took part in them. Also, 213 strategic launchers, 105 aircraft, including 5 strategic missile carriers, up to 15 surface ships, 5 submarines and 310 units of special equipment were involved. According to representatives of the Ministry of Defense, these were planned exercises which were for purely defensive purposes and not directed against any other states. The recent intensification of the Russian military training activities can be explained by Mr. Putin's comments last week before his visit to Saudi Arabia and the UAE. According to the Russian leader, Moscow is working to develop strike systems capable of overcoming any missile defenses.
What we did was we enhanced and improved ballistic missiles significantly and developed a new weapon that has no rivals in the world. We have hypersonic missiles that follow a low trajectory rather than a ballistic one. No one has hypersonic missiles today except us.
The president also addressed the question of whether Russia feels threatened by NATO's movements towards its borders.
We were told, don't be afraid, you're not the target, and there is nothing to fear. NATO is changing. It is no longer a military bloc. It does not have belligerent intentions and stuff like that. In the meantime, the North Atlantic Treaty remains in place, in particular Article 5, if I'm not wrong, that guarantees military support to other members, etc. It is a military bloc, and its infrastructure is moving closer to our borders. We're not happy about it. Another trick is that once countries join NATO, they have no say over the arms that are installed on their territory. This was the case in Romania with missile defense. Poland will soon get it too. It will be really close to our border. It is certainly a threat to us. We see it as an attempt to neutralize our strategic nuclear capabilities. However, it is clear their efforts are doomed to failure. I believe experts now see this as well. Now that we have the cutting-edge systems that I mentioned earlier, these moves are no longer a threat to us.
So Vladimir Putin's message was clear. Russia is only expanding its military capabilities for one reason: to safeguard the security of the country and its citizens. Yulia Shapovalova for the news of Rick Sanchez.